Hello lovely people. Bit of a different episode today. One thing I think never gets discussed enough is the practice dungeon or the practice space. It's pretty important how you set up the practice environment or organize yourself. Certainly makes practicing much easier if you set yourself up in the right direction. I'm always curious what other musicians do or how they set up or what their practice room looks like. So for this little episode, we're going to take a look at my little practice room. So one of the characteristics of living in Hong Kong is having small bedrooms. Here's my practice room. I've got my guitar standing on the ukulele stand. It's just resting there with the support out. I find having a stand really helps make it easy. Instead of grabbing it out of the bag, I just reach for it, and so it's easier to practice. On the side, I've got a bit of a humidity gauge. See, it's 66%. It's no good. It's pretty hot in Hong Kong. It's humid and tropical weather. So I've also got a dehumidifier here. On days where it gets too humid, I can turn it on, especially during the day. I've got my sheet music. I've got the metronome. You should always use a metronome. I've got a notebook to record the total hours. And I've got the music. Currently it's sitting on a bamboo reading stand. You can get these fairly cheaply in stationery stores, I think. And this is how I organize the sheet music. So what I've done is I've used rings and I've put the sheet music into plastic sleeves. The problem is that it's just a bit loosey-goosey. And you do have to take the piece of music out before you can start writing notes on it. But other than that, it's pretty easy to pop the ring out and you can rearrange the order of your music alphabetically or by composer or in the order that you want to perform. Having all this music around and having books of it just seemed very annoying. So recently I upgraded and bought myself a nice iPad Air. The iPad Air comes in the 13-inch size now. And one of the things I really love about the iPad is that it can stand on its own. So even without the music stand that I have back here, you can just take this anywhere and just plonk it down and still be able to read the music. You guys should really check out this app called Mujo. It's developed by fellow guitarist Jon. What I do is I have Mujo on a split screen here. And you can see it actually tracks all the practice hours I've been doing recently. You can add the pieces or the exercises like scales or, like say for instance, Lagrima, the piece. Once you go in, it's got a save tempo and then acts as a metronome. But you can also, what's really cool is you can start tracking the time you spent on the piece. You can either stopwatch, count, say for instance 8 seconds I've spent on it, so 10 seconds I've spent on it, or you can use this countdown timer. So I want to do 1 minute of scale practice. It'll roll down the 1 minute. It'll beep once just to tell you you've done, and it'll count the 1 minute towards the practice time. I think this app is really cool. Like I said, I used to just track my total hours like this, and it's pretty basic, but I wouldn't be able to tell what pieces I worked on. So this is freaking awesome. You can see I've been free practicing my noodling. I can see the pieces that I've been working on the most. So steel scales, arpeggios, and then you can track how many hours total. And on top of that, you can go in and then you can say, okay, I've sat read this many minutes. I've done 2 sessions of slower exercises, 1 in the morning and 1 at night, and all these other pieces that I've been doing. I just love how, it separates the different sessions as well, because I practice once at night and once at day. And you can, say for instance, scales, there's notes here. And I might leave notes for me on separate days on what I've worked on. If you want something like this, highly recommend it. It's an app store. It's called Mujo, made by Jon Crossley. But anyway, this app, I usually have it clicking away, timing it, and then I swipe it to the side, and this is Fourscore. And Fourscore is amazing. You can just write on it your fingerings and whatnot, and you also be able to find, import, photograph all your PDFs. Not only that, if I can get the menu to show up, you've got different set lists. So this is the pieces that I'll be playing in December for the recital, and I can just go in, and underneath here I've got a little Bluetooth page turner. So once connected, the Fourscore will turn the pages without me having to flip it. You can flip it by touching it, the Bluetooth turner, or you can create gestures such as winking at it, and you can then turn the pages for you. So what does your practice dungeon look like? How do you organize your sheet music? What's your system? I'd like to know. If you can get back to me in the comments below, it'll be great. Thanks. See you next time.